Right Honorable Michael Thomas Marape, thank you again for gracing us with your presence. Today I have both the pleasure and pain of appointing new ministers as well as decommissioning ministers. Running government is not tribal, it's not personal, it's not based on ethnicity or religious view, but in my view, a common ground that we must find to ensure our country gets from where we are to a better place, better level, better destination. And having the privilege of being in office in the last 5 months, the opportunity arose where there was a need for me to readjust the cabinet to ensure that there was cohesiveness and coherent thinking, but more importantly, not just thinking, but approaching the manner in which we get to do business. And so this morning, I had the pain of releasing few ministers go and appointing new ministers, as evident in the presence of leader of National Alliance Party, the Honorable Patrick Whites, and the Honorable Timothy Masiu, as well as leader of the United Resource Party, the Honorable William Duma, and the Honorable Jalta Wong back into cabinet. This decision was not easy to take, especially in the face of me sacrificing some ministers who had close personal ties with me. But as I said earlier, this is nothing tribal, this is nothing personal, but more importantly, to ensure that all parts of the country are held together as we find a path to bringing our country forward from where we are today. Our country is a country that is faced with many stiff challenges today, but those challenges can be overcome if we all have a common drive, common purpose, common vision. And in the last 5 years, managing politics, I beg your pardon, in the last 5 months, managing politics as well as trying to run government is not a good combination for the progress of our country. It is very toxic. Today, former Prime Ministers amongst me, Gwen Chief and Sam Marape, will attest to this fact. And so I just hope that the presence of National Alliance into cabinet from 1 now into 3, and I hope the presence of URP into cabinet, who have been very patient despite voting for me on the floor of Parliament on May 30th. They had no place in cabinet, but the leadership of URP, the membership of URP, and the support network of URP nationwide have remained constant, steady, in the view that the leadership that is now in place is the correct leadership to take this country on. And based on this humbleness, patience, and commitment to the cause, we set out to do early this year when we intended to change our PNC-led government. Based on this fact alone, the 4 distinguished leaders are now brought into cabinet, representing the political parties they represent and they lead. We have in cabinet also leaders of few political parties. We are a big government. Having over 100+ members in government is not easy. In that many multitude, you always find differences. And so at this point in time, I'd like to also announce that we will be making formal process. As I've stated already, there's been consistent rebuttal from PNC in the way we are trying to run our country. And this is no longer a PNC-led government. This is a Pangu-led government. And a Pangu-led government is all about economic empowerment, not empowerment to 1 or 2. Pangu-led government is not about subscribing to corporate greed and corporate interests. Pangu-led government is a nationalist government. That's just as much as Pangu in 1975 gave political independence. At 2019, we want to start the process of giving full economic independence to our people, empowering our citizens, empowering our businesses, sharing the wealth all around. And we don't want to held back those who subscribe to corporate interests, the interest of few. That is why this detachment is important. We value PNC party and their contribution to our country thus far. I must be the first to admit they've left the imprint in our country. There have been good sides, there have been downsides. We will harness from the good sides, but we will shift away from the downsides to ensure that our country moves forward in a positive direction. A Pangu-led government is pro-nationalist, without diluting or impinging on the right of foreign bilaterals, foreign development partners, and foreign interests in our country, but those interests must be done within the context of national interests going forward. And hence, I am trying to assemble a coalition of like-minded leaders in cabinet so that the national interest is amplified, channeled, and processed in the right direction that brings the country from where we are to the next level, including first and foremost, growing our economy going forward. And this appointment is done on the basis of political rearrangement and political structure. As our government hits 6 months in office, I promise to the nation I will be reviewing and taking stock of every minister and every department performance. We're hitting 6 months in office on November 30. And I will personally, from the office of Prime Minister, will do a stock take, I beg your pardon, of every performance of every ministers and every departments right across our country, every SOEs. We're not here to pass time and earn salaries. I made a statement earlier, James Marape will not be a professional Prime Minister. I will not be a professional Prime Minister. I'm here to make the difference for our country. And every ministers are expected to make their contribution for our country. We're not here to earn salary and have the comfort of being in office. We will take stock of where we are, make intervention first and foremost in the economy space, make intervention also in the system of delivery of government services to people. If I look back at our 7 prime ministers before me, they've all done their best. And I take inspiration from 1 or 2 of them, and both of them are in my presence, including St. Julius is out there. Their time were maybe small, but the interventions they made, and I put a reference to CEMEC as an indicator to one case in point I want to make. CEMEC maybe wasn't there for a long time, but look at the reforms he made in 2001, 2000. Today, some of the financial institutions we have in this country are amongst the best in the region, delivering huge dividends. That is because politicians sat down and focused on making reforms for the better of the country. And those reforms anchored well in the economy going forward. And our government, with our coalition of like-minded leaders coming out from Lolawata and many of the consultations we've had thus far, are now in the business of finding the right path in which we progress our country. And I look forward to working with these fellow leaders. I pay my respect, first and foremost, to the Honorable Charles Abel. I spoke to him, and he's been asked to stand down as Minister of Finance. I pay my respect to, I beg your pardon, I had conversation with the Honorable Charles Abel and Milibey Provincial Government, and the Governor needs some help there, so we had conversation in that regard. The party that he led, our development party, had 3 members of the party, and they had 2 ministers in cabinet, and the ratio was quite imbalanced, so he was asked to step down. Nothing to do with his performance. He's a top-class minister, top-class national leader, but just based on the ratio of members occupying ministry. There are 3 members, there are 2 ministers, and I asked him kindly if we could vacate his seat, and he was kind enough and responded well. And I had 3 other PNC ministers who were decommissioned. Both 3 are very close to my heart, the Honorable Candice Thomas, and the Honorable Manasseh, Alfred Manasseh, and hardworking the Honorable Elias Kalwar. But these are rearrangements that needs to take place. They performed well, but in terms of party politics and realignment and strategizing for now and into the future, I have personal relationships, but I'm paying the price of terminating my personal relationships. But this is nothing to do with personal, as I said. It's more to do for the country. Pulling parties that share the same view as ourselves going into the future. And Pangu is embracing these parties who are with us. Minister, the Honorable Patrick White, being very, very experienced as leader of National Alliance Party, is now moving into a very senior portfolio in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade. He will take charge. He will take charge of matters pertaining to foreign relations, but more importantly, as I said earlier, when we form government, trade functions will be assembled under foreign affairs so that we work into ramping up, attracting direct foreign investors and investments into our country. That is a task placed on his shoulders, and he will be working to mobilize the departments that he will be looking after into ensuring that that intention of government fully materializes. The Honorable William Duma will run, as leader of the United Resource Party, will run our government's program and intention to ensure we got systematic intervention to our SME space and our Papua New Guinea business space, and he will assume the portfolio of commerce and industry. And he has, based on consultation with him earlier today, he has accepted that challenge and that portfolio, and he will go into commerce and industry. The Honorable Timothy Masiu, we need a presence of Bougainville in cabinet, and my apologies to the people of Bougainville. The mix and the formula at the time we asserted to government wasn't there, but today the opportunity for a Bougainvillean to be in cabinet has arrived, and the National Alliance Party gave respect to people of South Bougainville and Bougainville in ensuring that the Honorable Timothy Masiu is called into cabinet. He will step in as Communication and Information Minister, something that he is very well with and conversant with. And we have the Honorable Jalta Wong, Deputy Leader of the United Resource Party, who will become our new Health Minister. Spoken to him this morning. I said, get in there and clean up the drought if it is happening in Health Department. Our medicines delivered on time. Our procurement system relooked at. Cut all these middlemen and ask him to utilize our postal services and utilize our defense force to ensure that distribution is happening on time right across our country. So he's given the hardest task to ensure that the Health Department is revamped, shaked up, and ensure that we are looking after our people on time, within budget, and corruption-free. If there is any corruption happening in that place, without preempting it, I'm just making a statement. And I have reshuffled a few ministers who've been displaced. The Honorable Wera Mori will move to the Ministry of Environment and Conservation. He belongs to our party. The Honorable Jeffrey Kama, as leader of that party, maintains his presence in cabinet. He will be shifting to, if I'm not wrong, to the Labour Ministry. And we have the Honorable Rainbow Paita shifting to the Finance and Rural Development Ministry. And we have the Honorable Wesley Nuruns shifting to the Migration Ministry. So these are the changes that are taking place, and we will have these ministers reassembling, reorganizing for Cabinet to continue to perform its role, and we have 2020 budget to prepare the costs. I've also signaled to rest of those who are not ministers in all party in our government that minister alone cannot serve the country. Our government is pro-rural PNG, pro-PNG that is outside of Port Moresby. And we've asked every members that we will be absolutely fair on everyone in the space of what is available in budget. There will be equal distribution of resources to all corners of our country so that we can develop our country and lift our country at the same time, leaving no place behind, leaving no child behind, as we do our effort to take back PNG and make PNG the richest black Christian nation in the face of the planet.
Yes.
Thank you very much. All right.